Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. And basically, we are discussing on the topic that is city creation. And in city creation, basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is future creation. And future creation, basically, we are discussing one of the topic that is India account. In India account, basically, we have discussed lots of things: SBI account, Amazon account. In this, basically, we are discussing after 2 days, basically, the big earthquake basically is going to happen in India. So that is the topic basically which is ongoing. In this, basically, we discuss lots of things. In this, basically, we are discussing that the topic is lava, that lava basically is going to generate this, that, each and everything basically currently we are discussing. In this, basically, we have taken one example of Mumbai city. Mumbai city is basically having 1 lakh project, 1 lakh companies basically, and in 1 lakh company basically there are around 10 crore projects, and 10 crore projects basically are going to generate 100 crore child and their human needs and their ideas. So that is the basically topic. In this, basically, we have taken one example of Microsoft. Microsoft told that basically we are going to generate 1 crore child basically. For that, basically, we need to do the preparation. And he basically told that like this, basically, we are going to there are around 1 crore project basically. That is of Microsoft ongoing. In 1 crore project, basically, we have defined sorry 8 lakh or basically whatever basically because there are 10 crore. That means it's a huge amount. So 1 crore or 8 lakh basically whatever things basically. So here basically number doesn't matter. Here basically just taking the example basically. So in this assume that basically this many number of Microsoft basically got the project, and he basically done the conditions to the companies that basically that you are basically doing these projects basically. And in this basically 1 lakh condition basically which is supposed to be added in the lava basically, that data basically you are preparing. So for that basically you are I am basically generating 1 lakh conditions and according to the 1 lakh conditions basically the birth is going to attract basically. So that basically in previous video basically we discussed lots of things. So this basically converts into just 2 to 3 minutes. Why? Because the things basically which is understandable basically, that basically it's very easy to understand after some time. For example, currently basically I am having the post of project manager software delivery head. So in future, basically, when I will get the post of software delivery head or basically CEO or vice president, that time basically for few days, basically it will be little bit tough to do the task. But after certain days, basically, the task basically will become habit basically, and this CEO task, vice president task basically will become easy basically. And currently, basically, I'm not working. So basically, one of the satellite person told that basically, Sunil, basically, you still basically got the job or basically still you are not working. So still basically, I'm not working. So like this, basically, things are connected. So here, the point is that project example basically I had taken. So one of the person told that how basically Microsoft might be creating the conditions basically. In that basically we taken one example. One person basically like do like this year, and that time basically his energy basically that child basically energy gets connected, so he's doing like this basically, like this basically, like this, like this, like this. And that basically he basically don't know that he basically why he's doing like this, but he got habit of that basically. In that habit basically he generated the habit. The Microsoft basically going to generate one habit that is this way, and that habit basically is going to attract that child process. So whenever basically the birth is going to happen, that time basically that girl also basically have a habit of like this basically. So both basically, and assume that basically both got marriage. So in this basically what are the things basically going to attract? That is going to attract one Microsoft Bill Gates data basically. That is child processing data. Child processing data is going to happen. So you can just imagine basically up to what level projects are connected. Lots of people says that yeah, we are basically doing one CRM project, but that CRM project is generating one of the conditions basically. It's generating one of the conditions. So to create one condition basically, Microsoft have to spend basically how many amounts. So in this basically he told that basically CRM project is also one of the condition basically of this. In this basically CRM project basically, do you know what is the product? That is a car. So I assume that basically one of the company basically who introduced the car basically, and that car basically condition was given by the Microsoft to create that habit. Because without blood cells basically that habit is not going to create. To create that habit basically he introduced one car also. So one of the person told that in world basically how many companies are basically are there who are basically producing the cars, and do you have that list basically where these car data basically are connecting in the lava data? There is no answer basically. Why? Because there is no project basically created for that basically. But project basically are there. This is producing car. This is going to handle season system. This is car is going to handle that season system. That is basically there. But exactly where basically it is connecting, that is the lava data. That data they don't have. Why? Because Bollywood group basically has not taken that data into the consideration. So due to that, basically they have created the almost all the software companies, and they ignored that lava data. Due to that lava data, which was ignored by the Bollywood group, basically it has costed this much. Basically, see the cost basically how many cost basically it has taken. Future data basically now they don't know, but few company basically might be connected who are actually handling the Bollywood groups. That are the investment groups, bankers. In really, basically, the bankers, investment group, basically, they are handling the Bollywood groups. Why? Because they are doing the investment, na, basically. In Bollywood, somebody told that basically, Microsoft told that basically, I'm ready to spend this much amount to display purpose. So few people told that basically Bollywood is handled by the investment group, bankers group. So they have basically done the mistake, or basically. Because who has done this mistake? Because Bollywood says that basically whatever task basically we gets basically that we do. That is what investment basically money. So whatever money, so one of the person told that Bollywood का जो percentage है ना वो उतना ही था. That means the percentage of the income basically Bollywood group is going to earn, that was this much only. So one of the banker basically, when the argument started basically, in that basically banker told like this, but that was not the right answer. Basically. That percentage basically was supposed to adjust, but that has not done basically. That was supposed to adjust, but that was not done. This was supposed to adjust basically. Lava data basic. For example, 18 percentage amount basically they are getting from the industry. So within this 18 percentage, they have to adjust this lava data also. So they have basically not adjusted. So they told that basically percentage basically got will increase. That's why basically we have not added now. So that was not the correct answer basically. So there was a mistake basically. But few people says that basically yeah इतना काम देते हैं हमको. We basically have 24 hours, but within 24 hours the work basically which is ongoing now basically that is beyond the 24 hours. So how basically this can be short out basically? So that is also question basically. How basically the task basically are decided by the companies, and that also basically they have to finish the task basically within the period basically. So that is also very dangerous thing now, basically. That's why basically the companies keeps on increasing, companies keeps on increasing. But companies increasing, that's okay basically. But they don't have the experience now, basically. For example, Microsoft basically have the good experience in creating one lakh condition basically. But if other than Microsoft company will come, then basically they don't know actually what they are doing. Then that time basically Microsoft know what he is actually doing. But the other company which is going to be newly product, that people basically don't know. That is also step basically. And that is also one of the project basically you can say. How basically we can sort out this issue. So for that lots of people says that to sort out this issue basically they have created certain level of systems. For example, One CRM project basically is created. That CRM project basically, whenever new person basically comes, he basically don't know anything basically. So few the documentation system basically got created. That is the project management plans. In that basically many plans basically are there and many documents are there. Project proposal are there. That why that functionality was not basically included in this project. Reason was the budget of the project. So for that proposal basically plan is there. So each and every document basically are prepared. Each and every documents are prepared, and within that document everything basically is there. But to understand practically, that is basically very dangerous, because Microsoft has taken everything basically practically, and he has checked the 1 lakh conditions also. You will not able to believe that, because without checking basically you can't dump the data into the lava. Yeah, lots of people say that हमने तो ऐसे ही डाल दिया था, but that is not the way basically. Otherwise basically one in future basically the universe group will say that basically which was that generation, yeah, basically who created this type of problem basically. See basically how much hard work basically we are basically doing. So they basically, what do you know what they are going to do? They are going to create one more brain data, because like this only the world has created. As the experience, as the issue basically got created to the satellite group, they are increasing the brain power. Currently basically the IT industries which having the technologies each and everything, that is the power of brain basically which is given by the satellite group. Why? Because they have faced lots of problem. So in future basically they don't want to face this type of problem, so they have given the power, and they told that basically you check everything basically in earth planet only, then basically dump into the lava. So that is basically one power basically, that basically we know, which basically is known as a idea basically. On the base of ideas, the system has created. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the stuff basically are connected. So as the problem universe group face, they basically, so how the problem, what idea basically gets in your brain basically immediately implement it basically. Immediately write in some one of the book, write in or basically you just do the conference call, these that each and everything basically you do it, because that basically might be problem, that might be that it might be some suggestion basically for some of the group basically. So whatever things basically comes to your brain, or whatever, when basically you are doing any projects basically, that time I'm telling you, for example you are doing one CRM project, in that basically 18 ways basically was created by the group basically who are into the CRM project. Then basically it entered into the power supply, and then basically the TCS was the first company who connected with the 18. They basically checked that basically 18 types of power supply basically was already the 18 types of CRM project basically was implemented. So you can just imagine basically in this basically he used foods department. Then basically in this he used AC department. In this basically he used power department. In this he used the construction department. Each and every departments he used, and then basically the CRM project was implemented. So it's not so easy to create one project also. That is also one thing basically. Then one of the person basically asked the question. The CRM project basically which was implemented, CRM project basically which was implemented, everything basically the power company knows that basically this way the things basically are going, this is the ideas. But why they basically are giving the data to human body basically? Then the one of the person basically told that basically first is the process, whatever things basically has to happen, that basically is must is supposed to happen from the human body. That is one thing. And the data basically keeps on processing. In processing basically it might possible that some group basically might connect to some different ideas. That is also possible. That is also possible, no, basically. So one of the person told that whenever basically 1 lakh project basically was created, then after 1 lakh projects, the 1 lakh company basically created 10 lakh projects, 10 crore projects. In 10 crore project, basically Bill Gates got 1 crore projects. That is the Microsoft group. Then basically the from 10 crore project, basically the 100 crore child is going to generate 100 crore child's ideas and each and every human needs. So ideas are connected. So one of the person told that the ideas and the child basically is going to connect with this idea. That basically are decided where basically when basically he gets birth, or basically when basically his human souls basically get dumped into the body which is modified by the energy companies like Reliance, IPCL, this, that, each and everything. Or basically it is connected at the lava time, basically lava creation time. Or basically it is connected with the whenever the project basically are ongoing, that is the 10 crore project basically which is created by the 1 lakh company. So is it like that basically? That is also question, no? Because how basically child gets connect to idea, because whatever ideas basically he is getting now, no, basically it has dumped when he was basically child only basically. And that data processing, processing. So the person who invented the computer basically, so what might be the possibilities then? One of the person told that basically what might be possibilities, Sunil, what might be possibility of the child basically connected for that, for example, that computer person basically who got the one computer idea, he was basically connected with that computer idea, where basically his setting was done when he was child basically that time, or basically when he was in the birth process that time, or basically when his souls basically was created that time, or basically when the projects basically was creating by the Mumbai software companies that time, or basically this data basically was testing with this data basically was tested basically into the human bodies. So one of the person told that one example basically I give, how basically this 100 crore birth is going to happen, that data basically how it's checked. That is also question basically, because everything is tested only, then only basically it goes to lab. So how this tested, yeah, basically that is also question basically. So few people says that basically birth process basically is equal to blood cells, and blood cells equal to set of conditions and set of future data. So this was the simple answer. So 100 crore child basically which is going to get birth, na, that was tested basically by the software companies. You will not able to believe that basically. This was also tested. Then after testing everything basically dumped into the chemical format and then basically into the lava format. And that's basically data keeps on processing, keeps on processing, keeps on processing. And here basically the option was Microsoft basically was having 1 crore child, and he was basically having 1 lakh conditions basically. That why he kept 1 lakh condition? Alternative basically he has taken. Optional basically. If one condition will not work, another is there. Another is not there. Another to another basically is there. All 1 lakh condition will never fail basically at same time basically. At same time basically the entire 1 lakh condition is not going to fail. So few conditions basically gets fails, but entire condition basically never gets fails. So you can just imagine basically what the software companies are creating. Few people says that whatever CRM project everything basically is designed basically, that is designed by the nuclear power company only, because they can't take the risk, and they basically are connected with that business development officers who are basically into this, and they basically get give the ready-made projects to the software companies. And in this process, na, lots of things basically happens. Lots of discussion happens, lots of talk happens. In this, basically, lots of error are founded. This, that, each and everything basically gets found. Then basically it is transferred to the company. That is basically given as a project. Basically, you do this project, and then basically they do the projects. There also basically they connect to certain level of ideas, and each and every software companies are basically watched basically by the business development groups. Basically, is there anything basically something new basically they got? I will take one example. For example, you are basically doing Java coding, or basically you are doing .NET coding, or basically you are doing PLSQL coding. So how basically the big companies track that this person basically has reached the extraordinary coding skill basically. That is how basically when he is doing coding basically that time basically Java energies are connected with him. Basically. So as Java energies basically are connected, he is doing the coding this that basically, and he basically reached to certain level of data. That time basically his body generates certain level of energies, and the log file are also basically generated in the system basically that he has reached to up to this level. So immediately the Java company basically gets the information that this person basically has connected up to this level, so he can basically used in this level of is this type of resources basically in this type of task. So they immediately basically how basically you get the call basically software company basically how basically the resources gets the call. One reason is basically the human resource department. Another is this way also. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the world basically has reached. Up to what level the world has reached. So we were connecting where basically we were basically at 1 lakh companies, 10 crore projects. In 10 crore, 1 crore project basically is of Microsoft only. Microsoft is going to generate 10 crore child. That 10 crore child basically is going to that 10 crore child basically is going to attract to body basically of the ladies and the gents basically who are basically the it they might not be husband wife also. Here basically that condition basically it's not there basically. So and that is not possible basically because how basically you can say that basically when girls basically and boy basically are doing activity sexual activity that is not possible to track basically that they only the licensed group basically can do the everything activity. So that is basically different thing basically. So one of the person told that like this basically they attracted and 10 crore child basically got birth basically. So here basically the Microsoft has not given the condition basically. For example, I am Hindu. I got second marriage, and in that basically I connected with some attraction. In that attraction basically my wife basically got birth from Microsoft energy basically. That is the Microsoft souls basically. So like this basically in 1 lakh condition basically which was that condition, which was that condition, and for that condition basically how many projects basically are created. In this basically I have taken one example, crm project basically generating car, and that car groups are telling that basically we are helping to generate the condition of Microsoft, but the car company knows this that they are generating this condition. That is a secret project, so they basically never able to track that. The car company basically never knows that. They only knows that basically they are into the season maintenance. That is the motion. They have given the information up the supervisor basically the owners basically gets information up to this level only that you are handling the season department. That's all basically. Their boundary line is drawn basically that you are basically handling the season department. After that basically that is Microsoft group. Microsoft is selling that company basically the car company basically are designing one condition basically for me for CRM project. That CRM project basically is ongoing in Accenture company. Accenture company knows that few people basically, that is the director basically, or the delivery heads basically, they know that basically Microsoft's condition basically is ongoing in this car company. So they are creating this CRM project. So they are collecting the car data, that who is the customer, what he is doing, this, that, each and everything data basically are collected. Because why? That is one condition basically of Microsoft. So lots of people says that the people basically who is getting controlled, their lifestyle basically is controlled by the management people basically. So for few people say the car company will sell the car, or basically they will manage the people. So few people told that basically for each and every companies basically IITs, IIMs and the MBA groups basically are there, who are connected with the governments. So government are telling that basically create this type of energy environment basically in the areas, in the house, in the apartments, in the societies. So they do that basically. For that basically they have the data. So this connects to some different system. That is basically the IITs and IIM group system. They are directly connected with the, because to think and to manage the stuff, no, basically it's very tough basically. This only IITs and IIM people basically can do. Because their brain basically are created up to that level. Their brain basically are created up to that. Nowadays basically the companies basically say that basically we take the people basically according to their blood cells. But they basically have selected few people basically, but they basically their blood cells basically was not checked basically. So they told that basically nowadays basically whenever basically the people basically are thinking, people basically connects to certain level of ideas. That time only basically the nuclear power company basically takes the data. Immediately they passes the data to the companies. Company, this type of resources basically are available in the market. So they immediately connects to the schools and basically immediately hires that student. So in this world, basically, for example, there are around in India, basically, I mean India, so I'm taking the example of India. 10 crore schools basically are there. 10 crore schools, basically, students basically are connected with certain level of companies only, that time only basically. That time only they has allocated to that company. You will not able to believe that. So human resource basically are connected up to this level basically. Human resource departments are connected up to this level. You will not able to believe that basically. Human resource basically, basically is one subject basically. In that basically MBAs groups are there. MBA group basically do the human resource department, but they basically gets data from somewhere basically. They only basically know data, nothing else basically they know. Datas are coming. This type of data basically they are having. This type of data basically they have to generate. That's all basically. Their task is this only basically. But if they think little bit in detail basically, the data basically which they are getting na basically for this particular candidates for this company, that data basically is allocated from the school basically. Company told that basically I am hiring that particular person. I am ready to pay his expense basically. And few companies says that basically we have changed our decisions. So that type of company also basically there. So that is then basically that time basically you have selected. That time basically what was that? Basically? So that is also the, so that is also different thing. Data keeps on changing basically. One person told that basically, Sunil, basically, you are basically not proper in this. So Sunil basically implemented this into challenge, and then basically he told, but the next after a certain time, basically he told that Sunil, basically you are good in this here. So he changed his mind basically. How? By the challenging accept. Challenge has accepted basically. I have taken one example. My water basic, for example, I myself Sunil I am basically energies, how basically I got birth this and each and everything. That data basically was dumped into the lava. From that lava basically I got birth basically. Then that lava basically, which was generating power supply, that basically converted into water. Then basically it converted into sea. Then basically seawater basically converted into planets. Then planets basically to galaxies. This and each and everything. So question basically was, where is Sunil water? And this was basically challenging project. This only galaxy group basically and satellite group only can do. Why? Satellite group basically are controlled connected with the planets to planets. Earth planet basically people can do what basically up to Earth planet level only basically they can do. That also basically if they have the this type of system basically, if they have the system that from like this way basically the data can be collected by the system has created, then only they can give the data na, basically. If they don't have basic, for example in sea water basically, if anybody says that Sunil, where is your energy in sea water? So anybody in this world basically, even basically the big software company, they can give the data. That is not possible. Why? Because system is not created. So you have to create the system basically. In this basically, what are the things basically happen? Reason lava data basically which was not captured. Because lava data basically converts into the water. If lava data is not captured basically, then how basically you are going to connect to water basically? That very Sunila Nair water in the sea water. That is also thing basically. And this is very dangerous topic, I'm telling you basically. It's the most dangerous topic in the world basically. That also you can say. So software company basically have to think up to that level. Why? Because they have got the brain, na, basically. They have got the brain from the galaxy group basically. They are from the satellite group basically. They have given you the brain. Why basically they have given you the brain? Because satellite work basically has to be reduced. It has not supposed to increase basically. That's why they have given the brain. And they have basically telling that basically Earth planet is the most safest planet. If you'll go to that planet, there basically the facilities are not there. So galaxy group, satellite group, basically they give the task to the Earth planet only. That's why they are giving the task, na, basically, because they have facilities, these, that, each and everything basically are there in Earth planet basically. No other planet basically have this type of facilities, this type of utilities, this type of power, this type of brain, this type of ideas. So you can just imagine how the things are connected. So one of the person told that basically, if software companies basically not able to think the system, and immediately basically due to some error, due to some reason basically the error basically was tracked. So what is the thing basically going to happen? So who will be responsible? Immediately the Bollywood groups are only going to be responsible. Why? Because they have created the software companies. So the world creator basically is not going to pick the software companies. Here they are going to pick to whom basically? The Bollywood group. They have designed the software companies basically. They have told that basically do this type of activities in this software company. You are going to get this type of projects. Then Bollywood group says that basically, "अरे भाई हमको we basically was not having that much in money basically, so we have not implemented that." Then they will say that basically we have not got that much investment money, so that's why we are not done. So like this basically each and every stuff basically are passed to the other department only. That is also one brain basically, one of the main responsibility passing. I am not getting job. So I asked the one of the human resource department. They told that basically I have passed your resume, but the technical team and the other department, basically the management team, has not selected you. And when basically you are going to call them, basically they will say that basically we have not got the resume of yours. And if some more escalation basically happens, then basically they say that basically your requirement, our requirement basically was this, and you basically don't have that skill set. So everywhere basically the companies are ready to give the answer. Whatever answer basically they want to give, they are going to give. So that is also different thing basically. That is also different thing. So here thing is what? Bollywood group basically. Bollywood group basically are responsible for each and every software companies which is created in the world. One person told that Microsoft project basically they basically are not having too much of project. Immediately Microsoft connected to certain level of stories with the help of Bollywood group. He basically started getting the projects. So you can just able to imagine basically each and every company basically have lots of tasks, basically, lots of tasks. Here basically the lava company, lava stuff basically Bollywood group got. So this is a big project basically for the future generation. This all comes to the investment basically. If anybody say that basically, where is the Sunilar Nair's water, energy's water? There is no answer basically. Why? Because system ही नहीं बनाया. There is no system created. In sea basically, what sea, Samundar, where is the Sunilar Nair's data? Is this basically anybody can give the answer? That is not possible. Basically. Why? System ही नहीं बनाया ना. System has not created. If system has not created, then how basically you are going to implement that? Basically? Lots of people says that the Bollywood groups join, they basically have got the authority to create the system. So they have not created the lava system basically to capture the lava data. And they say that basically we don't have the budget of that. Reason they will say that bank has not given the investment basically. And bank will say that basically other stuff. We don't have that much investment data. Because we have got this much money from the World Bank. World Bank will say that basically we have got data, this data, and this data need to prepare. This much data only need to prepare. According to that, only basically we have passed the investment money. Then World Health Organization, if anybody will, they will ask, we will ask to them. They will say that basically we are basically creating the blood groups basically. In that basically up to this level only basically human are supposed to think, and we have done the boundary. So according to that only we have passed the data. So just see basically up to what level the things are connected. In this world basically, there are many types of tasks basically. Risky task, easy task. Lots of people says that ये जो सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी है, सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर, सॉफ्टवेयर डिलीवरी हेड, कंपनी ओनर्स बेसिकली ये लोग क्या करते हैं? बैठे बैठे टाइपिंग करते रहते हैं. They are basically just doing typing this that basically each and every- but they are designing the very dangerous stuff basically. If they gets fail, the entire system basically gets fail. Company owner basically got some project basically, but it was not supposed to get him project. It was supposed to give to somebody else basically, else group, but he started it. So here basically what are the conflict going to happen? This conflict has happened basically. This basically here the conflict has happened basically. So what are the stuff basically going to happen? That was also question. So anything is basically going to happen. One of the person told that basically. The company basically will shift to other group basically. Then basically the matrix will affect this, that, each and everything basically is going to affect. Business development group will come into the picture. They will say that why you have done this basically. We have given the project, we have allocated the company, we have created the company. According to that, basically we have allocated the stuff. No, basically. Why you have done that? To that level, basically things are going to connect. Basically. Then basically it is going to affect to GDP, this, that, each and everything basically will get affected. So GDP is also connected with the software industries project. You will not able to believe it. GDP means growth development, right? Basically, growth development of the country. that you have to do up to this level growth. Up to this level growth only basically you have to do. According to that only basically you are going to get the data from World Health Organization, from the World Bank. But you have to display that basically we can do this also, we can do that also. One person told that ये तो यार project manager है. But he have to display that basically he can handle the company also. He can handle the delivery head designation also. He can handle multiple projects manager also. So until basically he will not display in front of the people, in front of the company basically, then how it is possible? So here basically I remembered the one girl basically told me basically in interview basically you don't speak anything Sunil, and that connects to this topic basically. That topic was what? If you have the talent basically, then you should display basically. So like that also basically things are there. So Bollywood group basically can handle the lava department. Then they should display that basically. Yes, basically we can handle the lava department. We can handle AI data basically. AI equal to lava department only basically we can say. Energy is going to connect. That connects to this way only. Basically. 1 crore child is going to happen. That data is dumped, and who is going to get this? Which kind of data basically? That are the 1 lakh conditions. That all are basically setted according to that only. Basically, the 1 lakh condition was created, and according to the 1 lakh condition, basically conditions are created. Basically, in this basically one condition was habit condition like this. That was a condition basically. So in this basically, what happened? The condition need to create basically. For that basically Microsoft told that basically I have given this data to Accenture. Accenture told that basically we will create few car basically. That car basically they are going to generate the energy. In that energy basically we have created lots of stuff basically of the model of car basically. In that model of the car basically we have told that basically this is the one of the condition of Microsoft. So one of the person told that whatever things basically are displayed in front of the world basically, products, each and everything, up to what level things are connecting here basically. It's connected. Just see na basically up to what level things are connecting. One car basically which is getting manufacturing is getting manufactured. The car company basically have this information only. That is, this car is basically going to handle this season. That's all basically. They don't have any other information. They don't have any other information. But the car companies basically are connected with set of software company. That software company know that basically. Why? Because they have to know. Otherwise, it's a huge, serious thing basically. So they should know that basically this stuff basically is ongoing. So according to that, basically we have created this car company, and they are going to produce this whole data basically. And this is one of the condition of Microsoft. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the stuffs are connected with. So you can just imagine now basically up to what level stuffs basically happen. So you can just imagine basically up to what level stuffs are connected. So one car company, they only know up to this level. That is what they are handling season. But they don't know that basically they are actually doing the Microsoft task. And Microsoft are also not connected directly with that car company. They have given this task to the software companies like Accenture, IBM, Capgemini, Colabora, eClerx. Like this company, basically, they have given the task. They are handling that card companies. So you can just imagine, basically, to create one condition of the one from 1 lakh, how it's tough. So one of the person told them, Sunil, do you have the data basically? How many conditions basically are ongoing just now of the future creation? That is the lava data. There is no answer. Basically. Why? Because the thing basically which I am talking basically, that is every entire new thing is basically for the software companies, because they have not got the data from Bollywood basically, because Bollywood's group basically was supposed to give the data, and they told that then basically it connected to up to what level? Health organization data. So you can just imagine basically up to what level stuffs basically are connected. One car company is connected up to what level? It's actually generating what? Microsoft idea. That is what 1 crore child basically is going to get generate. For that basically 1 lakh conditions are created. That 1 lakh conditions basically which is going to dump into the lava. That 1 lakh conditions are getting created from that car data. You will able to believe this basically one normal project basically, that is the CRM project which is ongoing in by the Accenture company. That basically our data are collected by the Accenture company, and up to what level things are basically connected. That also you see. So one of the person told that how dangerous the task software companies are doing basically. That's why basically they are earning big level of money. And that's why basically the Bollywood groups are earning 300 crore, 400 crore, 500 crore. Why? Because they are doing up to that level task. You will not able to believe that basically. Up to what level task basically they are doing. Up to what level task basically they are doing. So one of the person to the companies are basically created, right? Basically. Software company basically gets projects from the markets. They basically are not creating the projects basically, like CRM project basically which was created. How basically that was created? That basically we got the information. TCS got the first CRM project, but they have got the project from certain level of process. The whatever projects basically you are doing basically, that are dumped into the power company long before basically, and they are basically taken the data from that lava data. They have taken the power company data from the lava data. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the stuffs basically are connected basically. I basically can't imagine here basically. Because whatever projects basically currently you are doing basically, whatever CRM project, that was dumped into the lava data long before. And that idea basically was extracted from the help of the power company. And that project only basically you are doing. So lots of people say that the CRM project basically you told that basically they have done the conference meeting, and in that conference meeting the each and everything basically was that. But I have taken one example also, na, Switzerland basically. Switzerland basically, one person basically was eating lots of apple basically, and that apple basically was from the Switzerland basically. Switzerland land basically. So he was getting that kind of ideas. He was getting that kind of ideas. Why? Because he was having that type of apple daily. So he basically converted into one habit. So that idea basically connected where that CRM project basically connected to which land? That connected to CRM. That basically name given as a CRM Singapore, Switzerland. Because that idea basically is connected from the Apple. So you can just able to imagine basically up to whatever stuff. This everything basically you will never able to get in the any of the lectures, any of the colleges, because this is system basic. When you are basically into the system creation, that time only basically this video basically you are going to be into picture. and that is the future. Lots of people says that, do you know basically few software company basically presidents, few software company owner basically can become president also of the any of the country. So up to that level, the project this video basically is connecting. Up to that level, this video basically is connecting. There are many software company owner basically. They can become the president of the any of the country. That is possible basically. It's not like that basically. It's not possible. Why? Because they are doing the projects that you see basically. The car companies basically are handling basically what they are told that basically we are basically handling season department. But actually, really, what they are doing, they are handling the Microsoft one of the conditions basically that are the from the 1 lakh condition. Basically. So you can just imagine basically the software company owners basically can become the president of any of the countries in future. Basically. So you will not able to believe that basically. And that basically is the correct basically. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the stuffs basically are connected. So the manufacturing companies, car companies, this company, those companies, they basically don't know what that actually they are handling the Microsoft condition. Here basically I have taken the example of Microsoft. It can be SAP, it can be Salesforce, it can be SAP, PHP, it can be Java. Any company basically is possible. So here basically 100 crore birth is going to happen from that lava data. That lava data basically is going to come from the set of power companies, and that is going to attract to human bodies with the help of 1 lakh conditions. With the help of 1 lakh conditions. And other conditions basically which are added in this lava data. So one of the person basically asked the question, the software company have the data basically how many conditions basically currently ongoing. That data basically have that is one data of the current data that this person is going to connect to this idea. This person basically is going to connect to this data. This person basically is going to become father. This lady is basically is going to become father with the help of this person. Basically. So that type of data basically the software company have mostly might be having. Why? Because lots of future creation basically are already done. So they have done that means they have connect. They are basically connected with these ideas. But future data, that is the lava data basically, which is getting produced. That basically projects basically how many projects are going to be there. So that project basically they can start from now basically. So you can the Earth planet basically can become asset basically for in the universe basically. In future basically anybody will say that basically यार अर्थ प्लेनेट ने तो अच्छा काम किया from universe basically they will say that basically earth planet people basically have done good task basically. See basically they have created lava, they have created this many projects, they are going to generate 100 crore child, and their 100 crore child basically is going to connect to these ideas. If there is any error in this idea, then they can basically recorrect just now. So one person basically connected to this basically. What is that? From this lava data, he told that basically that person, that child basically you can see that child. Yes, basically I can see that child. That child is basically connected with this future generation data. That is inside the lava basically which data has dumped. That is that data basically. So whenever basically this 100 crore child is going to come basically outside from going to get the birth with the help of our company, they are going to become like this. That is the child basically. That is the child basically who is telling that basically I am this lava data. So up to this level basically the set of organization basically are connected. Set of groups has created the data basically. You will not able to believe that. You will not able to believe that. So in next video, basically, we are going to see little bit more about this topic, and this topic basically connected to every depth level, basically.